Bukit Koman village located in Raab, Pahang, a carbon-in-leach plant to extract gold from existing tailings began operations in February 2009. The plant uses cyanide in its extraction process.
Government departments have come to monitor the air and water and taken blood samples, hair samples, and urine samples for examination. We are still finding out what is the cause of illness among the villagers in Bukit Koman and surrounding areas. The eyes, their breathing problem, they have breathing problem, they have skin problem, and especially for older people who has asthma, who are asthmatic, their breathing is worse. And then those with skin condition prior to the running of the mine, the diseases become worse. We just want a peaceful life, to have clean air and clean water. I think that is not something we are out of the blue we are asking, isn't it? We just want somebody to take responsibility, find out the cause of the illnesses, what we are suffering here, compared to other places. Simple as that. But we are not getting any help from anybody.
Itu jam saya pun belum tahu lagi lah. Orang cakap lah dia start dari.
I was told that the mine began operations in March of 2009, and sometime in June, I began experiencing itchiness in my skin, and my eyes became very hot, and I felt as if there was something in the air which was not clean, and I felt difficulty in breathing. I've been to hospital, I've been to the government hospital, I've also gone to the private clinics to get assistance. It's different when I go to Cameron Highlands, which is a highlands, and there whenever I go there I feel very strong. But whenever I come back here I become very tired, and I feel that there is something in the air, and that makes me feel tired, but then I'm no longer scared like how I used to be.
Kenapa saya mau cari inisiasi orang sebab saya pun.
He said that I want to be a witness because everyone in my family have the same problems, not only me. Whenever I see my children having the same problems, the same itchiness, to me it's very painful to see them going through this suffering. So I want everybody to know what we are going through.
We are like living in darkness. We do not know what they are actually doing there. We do not know what caused our suffer. We know nothing. We are worried about the people's health. We are worried about the place they are living. We are so worried about the whole environment. So everybody is like don't know what's actually happening, and don't know what they can do, what is going to happen in future. They know nothing at all. It's so unfair to us as residents who live in that place.
The lack of transparency about the mine is one of the most striking things we heard when we met community members in Bukit Koman. From the lack of transparency around the granting of the original preliminary impact assessment, to the almost complete disregard to community concerns by members of the company and government authorities. One of the main community demands is simply that there be an investigation to establish what's behind the apparent increase in skin and respiratory problems in the village, and whether or not there is any link between that and the gold mine's activities. The mine is situated close to a densely populated area, which is not appropriate, and the government should consider shutting down the mine or moving it further away from the village. The other most striking thing we heard is perhaps how a strict application of Malaysia's laws is criminalising environmental action. Some of these laws themselves contravene international human rights standards to which Malaysia is party, such as the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and are undermining fundamental rights such as the right to protest and freedom of expression. the fact that there have been several legal actions or threats of legal actions against community members who have spoken out about their concerns about the mine or have undertaken other peaceful activities in the context of their campaign is perceived by many of the activists we met as a tactic to silence or deter their legitimate questioning of the company, especially as the company itself has not entered into dialogue or answered any questions. Malaysia's special branch also seemed to have monitored the community's activism and opposition to the mine, although the people we met had not been intimidated by this and had continued their campaign.
I feel very happy. Very happy. And a very fair decision.
Okay. I'm very happy with this decision. It's very, very good news for us. And we hope that the decision can motivate the activists who still fighting for the environment, for their rights. The justice has been served.
In November 2011, the Australian Linus Corporation started operations in the largest rare earth refinery in the world, located in the area of Gebeng, city of Kuantan in the state of Pahang. The plant was built without public consent, and Linus never found a safe solution to manage its massive amounts of waste, including radioactive thorium and uranium.
Let's do it peacefully. We are here for love. We are here for love. Yeah. So, don't hurt anyone. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Sit down peacefully.
All have a family.
Sit down peacefully. As citizens. No punching. We are not there to look for a fight. We are not fighting people. We just want to, express our love and concern for environment, for our nation, for our children. That's all. All these are ordinary people. Housewife, farmer, small business people. All these are ordinary citizens who are sincerely come out just to want to ensure this beautiful town can be protected and can be preserved. These beautiful places are for our children. These beautiful places are for people to come back to rest. And the economy here, fishery, tourism, all depend on the good environment. And why should miners come in here to rob the future away from this town and from the children here? That is not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, I would say that the government has not changed an iota. They have actually brushed aside people's opinion. They have brushed aside all kinds of strong, valid arguments put forward by civil society groups. They just bulldoze to whatever their own agenda are, irrespective of the welfare of the people, community, and the country. The company has actually put up a conceptual plan on the disposal of the radioactive waste. But under the terms of the temporary operating license, they are supposed to identify a location where they can build this facility to put away the waste safely and permanently, which they didn't do. So that is the stream of waste that we were actually stressing that both liners and government should see to it that they are managed properly and safely so that the environment will not be in danger. The community living nearby will not be threatened.
So, so we started to ask questions.
We formed community groups. We came out for protests, and we start to ask questions to the government, to the authorities. But they don't give us answers. And all they tell us is that it's safe. You believe us. And how they came in the first place? The world's largest rare earth refinery plant, which produces hundreds of thousands of tons of radioactive waste. They obtain a license without even having to produce a permanent waste disposal plan. Can you imagine that? And you tell me there's no wrongdoing behind this? How can they get their license approved without this? And I'm not the one who set this requirement. It's set by the International Atomic Energy Agency. They have operated for 2 years, and they have recently obtained their full operating license, and they still do not have that permanent waste disposal plan. We do not know how they are going to dispose of their waste, whether it's on site, whether they are hiding it somewhere, or what.
Radioactive materials, whether in water, whether in airborne, they are able to be there in the environment, particularly thorium. Thorium has a half-life of 14 billion years, which means it remains in the environment emitting radiation. And so no one can guarantee safety. No one, absolutely no one can guarantee safety. But if you have an industry which is coming all the way, bringing all the material to process in our country, and then the Malaysian people are supposed to face the hazards, whatever they are, this is really immoral as far as I can see. When you have environmental communities who actually fear the health effects and impacts on their lives, the right to their clean air, right to clean water, right to a safe environment, and they're actually fighting not only for themselves but their future generations. It's very tragic. When these communities raise these issues, they are criminalized. Instead of listening, hearing, consulting, giving them the information, and then actually taking action in terms of not allowing such factories or industries in neighborhoods which are populated like this, or in the case of Linus, although it is far, it's highly toxic because of the radiation. So instead of listening to people, what we see is a criminalization of people, and what we see here is a clear-cut case of profits over people.
Friends of the Tierra International will continue to support local communities and Malaysian activists in their fight to protect the environment, and we call on Malaysian government to increase environmental protection standards and also to increase the standards for peaceful protests in such cases.